Disney apparently isn't happy with their latest live-action remake, Race Swap Flop, The Little Mermaid, where they switched out Ariel for a black girl. So they're looking to replicate their failure, this time with the remake of Snow White and her 7 affirmative action friends. And I know this sounds like a joke, but Snow White isn't white in the film. They cast a Latinx actress, and some photos were just taken of her 7 companions and made the film an even bigger laughingstock because it looks like only one of them is a dwarf. They didn't want to be accused of being ableist, which is when people are discriminatory against non-able-bodied people, and so they cast a diverse group of characters, but they didn't want to be accused of not including any little people, so they did include one. At first, Disney claimed that the photos were fake, but then backtracked, admitting that these are her affirmative action friends, but this photo purported to be of Snow White is actually the stand-in, who also, of course, has brown skin. And contrary to popular belief, the Snow White character is not a Disney original. It's actually from an old German fairy tale, a white fairy tale, which probably explains why the character's skin was said to be as white as snow. That's where her name comes from, Snow White. Get it? And when the teaser trailer was released 3 weeks ago, nobody liked it, with the top thumbed up comment saying, "I love the part when the trailer ends." And in New York City, a court just ruled that about 5,000 non-white aspiring teachers will receive a part of a $1.8 billion payout after the court claims that the test that they were required to take to become a teacher was racist. The lawsuit, originally filed by 4 teachers in 1996, claimed that the exam was culturally biased in favor of white applicants. But bravo to Fox News for finally capitalizing the word white in their story. According to the applicants, more than 90% of white applicants passed the multiple choice and essay test, while black applicants only passed 53% of the time. Hispanics only received passing scores 50% of the time. Well, I'm sure that had nothing to do with the fact that maybe they just don't understand the English language. This is literally one of the aspiring teachers who was part of the settlement, who is now going to be getting hundreds of thousands of dollars because the only reason that he didn't pass the test is because of racism.
And they knew I wasn't taking them serious because I just wasn't taking them serious. You know, why would you send me letters and tell me about lawsuit? Because I know lawsuit either.
They said that they weren't taking him seriously. Gee, can't imagine why.
They go through or they won't go through. You know, from reading, hearing news, and all that stuff.
Reading, writing, and arithmetic, I think, is what you're trying to say there, teacher.
And I know a couple of people that had, well, not in education, but they went through lawsuits and they didn't win or anything like that. So to me, it's just like fabric. You know, either, you know, but it's.
By the way, that is the smoke alarm beeping because the battery needs to be replaced, and I'm sure that he doesn't understand that because he is a moron. This woman, on the other hand, did pass the test and is an actual teacher, and she pressed Joe Biden during the last presidential election in 2020 to try to get him to ban standardized tests, you know, where everybody gets the same test, hence the word standard, because they're racist.
Although formal testing does not begin until 3rd grade, younger students are often bombarded with practice tests that narrow the curriculum and often leave them hating school. Given that standardized testing is rooted in a history of racism and eugenics, if you are elected president, will you commit to ending the use of standardized testing in public schools?
Yes. As one of my friends in black pastors, I spent a lot of time, Reverend Harry would say, "You're preaching to the choir, kid," okay? Because look,
if a certain group of people aren't passing the test at the same rate that another group of people are, then obviously they just need tests with easier questions. I mean, what's next? Are they going to claim that math is inherently racist too? Oh, wait, what's this? a pathway to equitable math instruction, dismantling racism in mathematics instruction. Exercises for educators to reflect on their own biases to transform their instructional practice. And this is from Harvard's website, where PhD student Kareem Carr explains why 2 + 2 = 5, saying that he had a productive Twitter dialogue about the abstract nature of mathematics that was recently profiled by Popular Mechanics in an article titled "Why Some People Think 2 + 2 = 5 and Why They're Right." And apparently the United States Air Force has taken inspiration from the Titan submersible sub that tried to explore the Titanic, because they want to implement the same kind of hiring practices, which will most likely result in the same kind of outcome.
And, the only really guidance I put out there for them to consider is stop hiring middle-aged white people, especially dudes that are pilots, because honestly, we all think alike too much. And if we're going to be preaching diversity and being inclusive, and for crying out loud, let's back it up with let's make the rhetoric meet the reality.
I would recommend that the Air Force only hire pilots who actually know how to fly planes. But what would I know? I'm just a guy in my kitchen on a laptop. Click the link in the description below to join my exclusive Locals community for $5 a month, which is a way for you to sponsor the channel and get access to the private Locals community, which is essentially like a private Facebook page, but they actually allow free speech over there, and that's where I post all my hot takes and the video clips that are a little too sensitive for the big tech platforms. So click the link in the description below, head on over there, and check it out.